established. Synapses firing. Can you feel it in your mind? The neural bassline is online. This is where the phantom and the biology begin. Deep in the cortex, the frequency grows, mapping out the secrets that the simulation knows. Driving through the night on a wave of pure thought, found the liberation that the data never bought. The dashboard is flickering in time with my brain, pumping liquid rhythm through a digital vein. Locked inside the neural bassline, crossing every mental and physical line. Feel the growl vibrating deep in the gray, washing all the artificial memories away. Neural bassline, taking control, rewiring the circuits of a cybernetic soul. Think. Bassline, taking control. Visualize us pulsing like a ghost in the eye, watching all the limits of the city pass by. Signals are crossing, the buffer is full, feeling the magnetic and the mechanical pull. No more separation between machine and the man, building up the power just because we can. 30 hertz of pressure hitting hard on the nerve, holding down the rhythm on the midnight curve. Locked inside the neural bassline, crossing every mental and physical line. Feel the growl vibrating deep in the gray, washing all the artificial memories away. Neural bassline, taking control, rewiring the circuits of a cybernetic soul. Neural link stable. Don't wake up yet. Just follow the pulse.
Midnight in the neon city, engines running hot, redline the RPM.
Let's drift.
Raindrops dancing through the purple light, Shetoko highway tearing up the night. Ties screaming out, biting on the web. We're chasing down a ghost you won't forget. Sideways sliding past the Tokyo Tower, tapping into that underground power. Shift the gear, let the turbo blow. Watch the speedometer ready to explode. Blow, blow. vibrations of the midnight street. I told vibrations cracking through the tinted glass. No one in the rear view, we're moving way too fast. Spitting fire from the exhaust, going in the dark, leaving every corner with a burning mark. City is a maze, but we got the key. Welcome to the dark side of the frequency. Hit the Tokyo throttle, leave the world behind. Drifting through the madness, crossing every line. Burning up the rubber in the neon glow. Out here in the shadows, yeah, we run the show. Tokyo throttle, throttle. Push it to the red. Living for the rush. Inside my head. Fading into the neon. Just a blur in the rain. Firing up the core. Carbon, steel, and rhythm. The engine is ready. Let's accelerate. Chrome skin reflecting the flicker of lights, shifting through ghosts of the city's dark nights. The chassis is vibrating, pulse on the dash. Engine is humming, preparing for the crash. Fueling the system with data and dust. Nothing is holy and nothing is trust. I'm moving through sectors of silver and grime, syncing my heartbeat to clockwork time. Oh, I'm riding on a chrome engine through the wasteland of the final invention. Grinding the bass like a gear in the dark, leaving behind a high voltage spark. Chrome engine tearing up the grid, doing exactly what the machines did. Chrome engine, break the grid. Liquid logic flowing through the intake valve. Problems in the circuit that I need to solve. The visualizer's burning in shades of neon red. Nothing but the static circling inside my head. Driving through the wires beneath the heavy sky, watching the artificial city lemons fly. Chrome plated armor, heartbeat of steel. This is the only thing I know how to feel. Oh, I'm riding on a chrome engine through the wasteland of the final invention. Grinding the bass like a gear in the dark, leaving behind a high voltage spark. Chrome engine tearing up the grid, doing exactly what the machines bid. Thermal threshold. Pressure dropping. Engine cooling. Approaching the turn. Hold the line. Hit the angle. Welcome to the apex. Sliding intersection. Angle cleared. Perfect line. Leaving the smoke behind. Do you hear that? The bells are ringing. The menace is awake. Let's ride. Rolling down the block, man, I paint a pitch black. Engine howling loud, leaving rubber on the track. Hear the metal ringing, it's a warning in the air. We don't hit the brakes, no, we wouldn't even dare. Tuning up the pitch, let the melody creep. Waking up the demons that are lying in the deep. 808 is knocking, kicking down the front door. Leaving all the asphalt burning on the floor. Run from the cowbell menace, ringing through the night. Drifting in the shadows, stepping out of the light. Feel the heavy rhythm, breaking through the glass. Watch the audio spike when we're stepping on the gas. Yeah, the cowbell menace, taking over the street. Bow down to the dark and the distorted beat. Menace. Watch it spike. Take the street. Bow down to the beat. Visualize it jumping as the frequency drops. Swerving past the limits, yeah, we're dodging the cops. Cowbell hits hard like a hammer to the skull. Never backing off, yeah, the blade is never dull. Sideways in the smoke, sliding perfect in the lane. All the other switch, I'm running heavy through the brain. Cooking up the gear, push the needle to the edge. Dancing with the menace right along the broken ledge. Run from the cowbell menace, ringing through the night. Drifting in the shadows, stepping out of the light. Feel the heavy rhythm, breaking through the glass. Watch the audio spike when we're stepping on the gas. Yeah, the cowbell menace, taking over the street. Bow down to the dark and the distorted beat. The ringing stops, but the smoke remains. We own the night. Do you hear that? Warning, core temperature rising. Safety locks disengaged. Entering synthetic overdrive. Hold on. Neon veins are pulsing, turning bright white. Circuitry is screaming through the dead of the night. The
fall. Overdrive. Push it. Watch it fall. Cybernetic vision, everything is blurred. Listening to secrets that the world never heard. The 808 is crushing the bones in my chest, putting every wire to the ultimate test. Tearing through the sectors like a virus in the flow, lighting up the darkness with the radioactive glow. No more manual steering, let the rhythm take the wheel, merging with the chrome and the way the shadows feel. We're locked in a synthetic overdrive. It's the only way we're gonna survive, grinding through the gears of a digital hell, underneath the power of a binary spell. Synthetic overdrive, pushing through the wall. Watch the entire simulation fall. Core meltdown imminent. Everything is digital. Everything is gone. Access granted. Loading grid runner protocol. Route 01. Don't blink. Blink, blink. Ghosting through the barriers, cutting through the wall, waiting for the digital empire to fall. Hands on the interface, eyes on the line. Everything is moving in a program design. Circuitry is glowing on the back of my hand, riding through the shadows of a synthetic land. The frequency is rising, the buffer is thin. This is where the ghost and the machine begin. Initiate the grid granted. Access granted. Loading grid runner protocol. Route 0, 1. Don't blink.
Rolling through the fog, no headlights, just a shadow on the street. Creeping in the midnight, slicing through the mist, dancing on the edge with a flick of the wrist. Tires smoking up, painting circles on the ground. Only thing you hear is the heavy bass sound. Sliding around the corner, floating like a ghost. Pushing past the limit, yeah, we're doing the most. You can catch a shadow when it's moving this fast. Leave 'em in the dust, make the memory last. Call me the Asphalt Phantom, ruling the night. Drifting through the dark, staying out of the light. Burning up the rubber, leaving tracks in the zone. Out here in the streets, yeah, I'm claiming my throne. Asphalt Phantom, with the smoke in the air. Catch me if you can, but I'm already there. Drift, Phantom, slide into the dark. Redline the engine, hear the metal scream. Living at a dark adrenaline dream. Switching up the lane sideways to the core. Every single drift leaves them begging for more. City is a playground, concrete is the track. Once you cross the line, there is no turning back. Blurry neon signs reflecting on the hood. I hit the brakes now, but you know I never would. Call me the Asphalt Phantom, ruling the night. Drifting through the dark, staying out of the light. Burning up the rubber, leaving tracks in the zone. Out here in the streets, yeah, I'm claiming my throne. Asphalt Phantom, with the smoke in the air. Catch me if you can, but I'm already there. Fading in the smoke, just a ghost on the road. Fading in the smoke. All units in position. The streets belong to us now. Welcome to the Syndicate. Let it burn. Rolling in a pack, moving heavy through the smoke. Every engine revving is a promise that we broke. Tires spinning out, painting circles on the ground with the undisputed masses of the underground sound. Headlights cutting through the fog in perfect sync, pushing past the red line faster than you think. No solo riders here, we operate as one. By the time you hear the cowbell, the damage is already done.
watching it just from the rail. Audio distortion leaves a heavy phantom trail. Code is running perfect, keeping rhythm with the tire. Feeding the collective with a distorted fire. Catch us if you can, but we're fading in the mist. The greatest underground crew that doesn't even exist. Make way for the drift. Syndicate taking over the night. Moving like a phantom in the flashing neon light. Heavy on the throttle, dropping bass into the core. Every time we hit the street, we leave them wanting more. Yeah, the drift syndicate. We on the midnight zone. Burning up the rubber on a frequency unknown. Operations complete. Disappear into the smoke. Leave no trace. Static horizon. The city is a cage. But tonight, the pulse is ours. Enter the dystopia. Of a fallen star, towering screens in the digital eyes, reflecting in the hollow of my neon eyes. Static in the air, pressure in the chest. The system is failing, put it to the test. Winding through the canyons made of steel and wire, chasing the ghost of an electric fire. Welcome to the neon dystopia, where the frequency is the only utopia. Riding the bass through the concrete veins, breaking the code in the digital chains. Neon dystopia, dark and deep, awake in a city that's forgotten how to sleep. Dystopia, neon. The frequency is ours. Dashboard flickering in electric blue, running from a future that was never true. Subwoofer breathing like a dying machine, fueling the anger in the cyber scene. Visualizer jumping in the dark of the night, feeding on the flicker of the artificial light. The grid is a prison, the beat is the key, unlocking the dark side of the frequency.